In mammals and birds, the syngamy occurs inside the body. Usual site of zygote formation in organisms with external fertilization is water. In most of organisms, male gamete is motile and female gamete is non-motile. Growth of pollen tube towards embryo sac is chemotopic. Embryo sac is to ovule as pollen grain is to an anther. The outermost and innermost wall layers of microsporangium in an anther are respectively epidermis and tapetum. In human, the unpaired male reproductive structure is prostate gland. There are three basic steps in genetically modifying an organism. The correct sequence is the identification of DNA with desirable genes. Number two is introduction of the identified DNA into the host. Number three is maintenance of introduced DNA into the host and transfer of the DNA to its progeny. Secondary oocyte has 23 chromosomes. LH is not secreted by human placenta. In periodic abstinence method, coitus avoid from 10 to 17 days. Increase IMR and decrease MMR in a population will not cause significant change in growth rate. Genetics deals with heredity and variations. Point mutation involves change in single base pair. Hemophilia is a genetic disorder in which there is delayed coagulation of blood. RNA polymerase transcribes mRNA. RNA polymerase 1 transcribes mRNA. Aminoacylation of tRNA, also known as charging of tRNA. Amino acid sequence in protein synthesis is determined by sequence of mRNA. To eliminate all diseases is not a goal of human genome project. DNA fingerprinting recognizes the differences in satellite DNA and repetitive DNA. A nucleoside differs from a nucleotide. It lacks the phosphate group. The first life originated in water. Examples of convergent evolution are a sweet potato and potato. Fossils are generally found in sedimentary rocks. Organ most affected by alkali is cerebellum. The chemical test that is used for diagnosis of typhoid is viral test. The disease chikungunya is transmitted by Aedes mosquito male. PCR proceeds in three distinct steps governed by temperature. The is denaturation. The order is denaturation, annealing, and synthesis. The primary treatment of sewage involves sedimentation and filtration. Mycorrhiza does not help the host plant in increasing its resistance to insects. LAB stands for L for lactic, A for acid, B for bacteria. Lab means lab stands for lactic acid. Plasmid used to construct the first recombinant DNA was isolated from Salmonella typhimurium. Due to mutation Y, the shape of RBC under oxygen tension will be elongated and curved. GUG codes for valine. HBS genotype shows a diseased phenotype due to mutation Y. The breakdown of endometrium is characteristic of menstrual phase. 6 to 13 days of the menstrual cycle marks the proliferative phase. In secretory phase, empty Graafian follicle changes into corpus luteum. FSH and progesterone, both hormones, attain peak level during ovulatory phase. Withdrawal of LH hormone causes degeneration of corpus luteum. Opening of floral buds into flowers is a type of autonomic movement of growth. Injuries located to the hypothalamus would most likely disrupt the regulation of body temperature. The two polynucleotide chains in DNA are anti-parallel. Geometric representation of age structure is a characteristic of population. The finches of Galapagos Islands provide an evidence in biogeographical evolution. Gaetogamy involves fertilization of flower by the pollen from another flower of the same plant. Puffballs and claviceps belongs to Basidiomystis. Placenta and pericarp are both edible protein portions in tomato. The roots that originate from the base of the stem are fibrous roots. Lysine is the basic amino acid. The process of growth is maximum during log phase. Cuboidal epithelium with a brush border of microvilli is found in proximal convoluted tube of nephron. Montreal Protocol was signed in 1987 for control of emission of ozone depleting substances. Sickle cell anemia is an autosomal recessive trait. According to Robert May, the global species diversity is about 7 millions. Matchings: placenta, human chorionic gonadotrophin HCG. Zona pellucida, layer of the ovum. Bulbourethral glands, lubrication of penis. Leydig cells, androgens. Down's syndrome is due to non-disjunction of chromosome.